Welcome to the PowerNotes tutorial for Florida State Law. In this tutorial, we'll go through some of the key features of PowerNotes, show you how to use it so that we can get you started. Before we do that, just some quick websites that you'll need to know about. First, in order to install PowerNotes and the extension that is required, you'll need to go to powernotes.com and install it on either Google Chrome, Firefox, or Microsoft Edge. And also, on our blog, you'll find all our help and support materials. It's blog.powernotes.com/help. Make sure that when you do create your account, use your Florida State email address when you sign up. All right, so let's get started. So when you install PowerNotes, one of the things that you'll notice is that once you have the extension installed, you'll have the sidebar that shows up. In the sidebar at the top, you'll see the name of the project that you're currently in. When you start out, it'll just be called New Project. You can rename it, do whatever you want with it, or you can just create a new project. When you create your PowerNotes account and you use your school email address, we'll actually send you an email verification link. When you click on the email verification link, you'll have unlimited projects that you can create, and you'll have full premium access to PowerNotes. You can switch between projects at any point in time by accessing the drop-down window here in the sidebar. So you can see I have a lot of projects going on. So you can have a lot of projects going on at the same time. So I'd use each project for like a paper or a class or something like that. Below that, you'll see some controls that we'll go through during the demo, and then a section down here where we're going to start to display all of the information that we've gathered during our research. So I'm going to jump over here into Westlaw now, just to show you how it works. So really quickly, it's designed to help you gather, organize, and track all of your research. Keep it all in one place, keep your notes in one place, so you don't have to jump around to all different things to save information. When I was in law school, I really didn't like the fact that I had to copy and paste material to save information into like a Word document or a Google document. It was really distracting, causing me to pause my reading every time I wanted to save something. So with PowerNotes, you don't have to do that anymore. So all you have to do is highlight what you want to save, and then this box is going to pop up. At the top of the box, you'll see the name of the project that you're in, and then below that, you'll see just two topics. And these are going to be generic topics when you start off with your a project, background and new topic. You can change these over time. You can add to them. I'll show you how that happens, just so you can adjust your organizational structure as you do your research. And this is how you're going to organize your content in PowerNotes. You can also, if you create a new project, start off with topics that you can predefine. So it doesn't have to start out with these two. If you create a new project, you can start out with any list of topics if you know how you want your project to be organized before you even get into your research. For now, I'm going to select background. The next thing it does is it prompts you to annotate whatever you just highlighted, so you can take whatever notes you want. And then it's really quick. So you've done that, you just continue on reading. So we tried to make it as efficient as possible so you can just get through this stuff quickly and just continue reading. So you can focus on that, just highlight what you want to save, select your topic, take your notes, continue on reading. I don't think you'll find a faster way to do that process. Over here in the sidebar, we'll show you what you saved. All of the highlighted materials in quotation marks, so you know it's not yours. All of your notes are in a separate field that you can always edit. We automatically save a link back to the source, so you can always just click on this link and come back. And the highlights should be persistent, so they should show up when you click on that link. And then in this little quotation mark here, we'll show you the citation that we're going to capture in the background. And so for your legal databases, Westlaw, Lexis, Bloomberg, and Hein Online, as soon as you highlight something on those sites, we're going to automatically save the citation that that database gives you. And you can access that by clicking on this icon. So here it is. This is the citation that Westlaw gives you. And so you can edit this because it's not necessarily going to be a blue book. You can make whatever changes you want. Click Save to Sources. And then once you do that, we'll actually change that, the original hollow quotation mark to a solid quotation mark. We want you to get in the habit of making sure all your citations are correct. So try to make sure they all go solid at some point. But you don't have to do it when you're doing your research. We don't want you to be distracted from reading your case. You can do it after the fact at any point in time later on, because we're always going to have this information saved for you. The information is going to be filed under the topic that you chose, in this case, background. It's also very easy for you to change topic name. Just hover over the topic, click on this little edit icon, change it to whatever you want. And then the next time you do highlight something and want to save something, all of those changes will be saved. They get saved in real time. Also, if you want to create a new topic, you're reading something, it doesn't fit with your current organizational structure, just click on this little add topic button right here. And then you can make whatever topic you want. Drop into your new topic, take your notes, and then we'll have saved that information in that new topic. As you can see here in the sidebar, that new topic is here now, and we saved all of that information. So really easy way to capture information, organize it, keep it saved, and gather a bunch of stuff in the background that would just be kind of a pain to gather by copy and paste. So now I'm going to jump to Lexis, just to show you it works the same way on Lexis. We actually cover all of the academic databases. It'll actually work on pretty much every site on the open web, as well as any PDF either online or on your computer. It'll also work on your LMS. It'll also work on the vast majority of your electronic textbook platforms. So we want you to be able to gather information from anywhere, be able to combine it in PowerNotes, and then use that to then start writing your paper. And I'll show you how we start to do that later on. So again, it works the same way in Lexis. You just highlight, select your topic, take your notes. We're going to pull the Lexis citation again in the background. You can edit it, do whatever you want to do. One thing to note also, there's a couple other controls here when you do highlight stuff. This is the database's native copy with citation function. So if you're using Westlaw or Lexis in particular, and you normally use their copy with citation function when you highlighted something. We didn't want to get rid of that, although we're kind of taking over the highlight function. So we left that here as copy with citation. So if you wanted just to use the Lexis or Westlaw copy with citation, you just highlight it, and then go to this box in the lower left-hand corner, click on it, and then it'll give you the normal dialog for copy with citation that Lexis or Westlaw gives you. All right, so I've been able to capture some material from Lexis and Westlaw. We'll also jump to Hein Online real quick. With Hein Online, this is great for like journal students that use Hein a lot. Journal students will also get a lot of benefit because PowerNotes does work across all of your legal research platforms, your undergraduate research platforms, as well as anything on the open web. So when you do highlight something on Hein Online, you want to make sure you are in the text mode. So the natural version of Hein Online is this picture mode, so you can't highlight anything. But when you go to text of this page, then you'll be able to highlight stuff with PowerNotes. And we'll also pull the citation that Hein gives you as well. So we kind of do that for Hein as an extra feature. So now I'm going to jump over to something on the open web. So this is the Atlantic, just to show you how it works on the open web. It works pretty much the same way. You just highlight what you want to save. I'll add a topic called current events. Drop into my new topic, take my notes. Now, these open web documents don't give you citations like the legal databases, but what we do is grab some metadata in the background. So I'm going to click on this highlight, or you can also click in the new current events section of my sidebar. And when you click on the little quotation icon, it's not going to have a citation, but we're going to pull metadata so that you can create a citation. So just by you highlighting something on this page, we're going to pull the date published, the author, all of that sort of stuff. So you don't have to copy and paste it like 5 times to save all that information. We do prompt you to review and make sure this information is correct. You can make any edits here except for into any of these fields except for data access. You can apply any edits that you make to anything that you highlight on this page, so you only have to do it once per page. Once you click Save to Sources, again, we'll fill in that quotation mark icon. Another thing you can do with PowerNotes is save images. And so if you want to save an image in PowerNotes, all you have to do is go to the image, right-click. You get the normal right-click menu, and then you can click on the Save Image to PowerNotes option. It'll prompt you then to organize that image into your categories. it'll save the image and prompt you to annotate it. And then once you do that, it'll be saved. You'll see it in the sidebar here as a thumbnail. If you wanted to access that image or edit your notes, you just click on the thumbnail. It'll show you the full image, let you edit those notes. There's another way to save images, which is via screenshot. And this is great for PDFs where you can't right-click. So all you have to do is click on the take a screenshot option in the sidebar, and then just select what you want to save. Again, it'll prompt you to organize what you just selected. You can take your notes, and then we will have saved that image. So in this instance, I made sure I wanted to grab the screenshot too, which wouldn't have happened if I just right-clicked and saved. That's what the screenshot is for, as well as taking images in PDFs. Speaking of PDFs, we're going to jump to a PDF right now. Just to show you, it works the same way on PDF. You just highlight the information you want to save, organize it, take your notes, continue on reading. Now, the PDFs don't necessarily have their own citations either. They don't have metadata. So what we do is give you a little field where you can fill in the citation either by hand. Sometimes the PDF comes from an academic database that gives you options for citations. You can just paste the citation here. All right, so another piece of, or another cool feature that we have for PDFs is a lot of times you'll run into an older PDF that doesn't have a text layer. You can't copy and paste, you can't highlight, you can't do anything. We'll actually detect that it doesn't have a text layer. If it doesn't, you'll see a little pop-up that shows up at the top of the sidebar asking you to process the PDF in order to use it with PowerNotes. Just click that process button. It'll OCR the PDF on our server, add a text layer to it, and prompt you to save that version to your computer. And then when you open that up in your browser, you'll be able to highlight on it just like any modern PDF. Another thing you can do with PowerNotes is bookmark something. So you can just add a bookmark. There's a little bookmark icon here. It'll create a bookmark section in PowerNotes, let you add whatever notes to that bookmark so you can come back to it and know what you want to do. And then you can also add your own notes that aren't associated with outside sources. So these are notes that are, this is a note associated with this source, this quote here and this source. But if you wanted to just take your own notes, you can just click on these little plus icons next to each topic name. When you click on it, it'll open up a separate field where you can just type in whatever notes you want. So if you have questions, you can put them in here just to memorialize them. If you have like great ideas you want to talk about in your paper, you can put them in here as well. You want it just to keep everything kind of self-contained in your research environment so you don't have to jump back and forth and do things in all sorts of other documents. A couple other key features here in the sidebar. Anytime you have any issues using PowerNotes, any technical issues, something's not working correctly, let us know. And it's really easy to do that. Just click on the little feedback icon here in the sidebar. It'll open up a dialog box that pre-populates the URL. You can take whatever notes you want to take and let us know what's going on. And then click submit and we'll get that immediately and get back to you. You can also access that feedback button in the extension dropdown. So you just click on the little feedback here. You can also use the extension dropdown to enable or disable PowerNotes. So if, say, you're just surfing the web, you didn't want to see that stuff, PowerNotes stuff pop up when you highlight stuff, you can just turn PowerNotes off by clicking this, this to no, and then everything just disappears, right? So, the normal highlight works like it's supposed to, like no PowerNotes going on. If you want to do research, all you have to do is re-enable, everything comes back, all your highlights come back, your sidebar comes back, all this stuff comes back. If the sidebar is in your way, you can minimize it two different ways. You can slide the whole thing to your right, and it'll show you just a little thing on the right. You can hover over topics to see what they are, and see how much stuff you have in each topic. Or you can click on this little icon in the lower right that minimizes PowerNotes to an icon. And if the icon gets in your way, you can just drag it around your screen to get it out of your way. Once you're ready to assess your research, just click on what we call the project outline. That'll take you to the second part of PowerNotes. you can access the project outline by clicking on the project outline link near the top of the sidebar. So this will take you to our web app, and it'll have all the same information for this project that you saw on the sidebar, but now it's on its own page. Here's where we want you to be able to reorganize and assess your work. Here you can also like change the name of your titles, change the description of your project. You can click on any of these links to get back to the project, to the original source. You can edit your notes here, do whatever you want. You can edit topic names. But what we really wanted to do here is let you reorganize stuff. And so for me, when I was doing legal research, I copy and pasted stuff into a document, and then reorganizing that document was a huge pain. And so if I wanted to reorganize it, I have to copy and paste stuff around. We want to avoid that. And so copy and pasting stuff around is just a bad experience. So we basically turned all of your research into note cards, digital versions of note cards, where you can just drag and drop around your screen to reorganize information, like you would just shuffle around note cards if you ever did print research back in the day. Really easy to do that organization this way. You can also, each card also has a menu. So just hover over the card, you'll see these 3 dots on the right side. Just click on that, it'll have a menu where you can do other things. So you can delete the card if it's no longer relevant. Say I answered this question already, there you go, it's gone. Or you can move it into a different topic that's further away, because dragging and dropping over a long distance is not the best experience. So I can move things a long distance. You can also copy any card into another project if you misplaced it or something like that, or into the same project and duplicate it. You can also have the same options for entire topics. So just hover over the topic, you'll see the same 3 dots. You can delete the entire topic, move the entire topic into another project, or copy it into another project. There's also a way to edit all of your, or reorganize your entire outline on a large scale. Click on the right side here, you'll have a bunch of filters, so you can filter what's viewed here. So like if I just want to see current events, you can do that. Go on and see just highlights or notes, I can do that. There's a topic manager here that lets you reorganize your entire outline by topic. So just click on it, and it'll give you a list of your topics here on the left side, and you can just drag and drop your topics around to reorganize your entire outline. You can also use this interface to edit topics, delete topics, change the names associated with topics, add topics, change the colors associated with topics. You have infinite numbers of colors. Anything you really want to do to keep your stuff organized. There are also several download options. So you can export, just click on this little export button, download it to a Word document. You can also open it in Google Docs. It'll have all the same information, including the links to all your sources, but it'll only have the citations for which you did that save to sources. So only the filled in citations will actually be exported to this document. The second thing is Excel options, so spreadsheet downloads for specific types of analyses. They're just different types of formatting in the Excel file of your information, so that you can do things like analysis and synthesis across your sources. Just to give you an example, you should check these out for yourself, but to give you an example, the first Excel download is formatted such that, and I'll give you an example here, such that all of your topics are across the first row. So if you're doing like, case briefing in a doctrinal class, you can have your fact, issue, procedure, analysis, rule or holding as your topics. And then all of your sources, or in this case, cases, will be down the first column. So anything that you highlight in a case that's relevant to any of these topics will be in the appropriate cell. And then if you're doing like case summaries, all you'd have to do is, summarize across the rows. Or if you're doing synthesis across the cases, say you want to synthesize all the rules, all you have to do is summarize down the column and fill this in. So a nice way to kind of look at a large number of cases in a visual way so that you can kind of both summarize and synthesize across those cases. So that's an example of one of our Excel downloads. Check those out, they could be helpful for you. All right, so kind of one last feature, not one last feature. One last feature on this page I want to show you is you also have the ability to create blank note cards here as well. So these little add freeform note icons next to each topic, They do the same thing. You can just click on it. It'll create a blank note card. You can type whatever you want. So at this stage, you might be able to start writing. So you can do topic sentences, whatever you want. If you have like non-digital sources, you can say, you know, passage from a book. Put that in here. You can reorganize these just like any other card. Whole point is we wanted to kind of let you get as far as you could in the writing of the research paper at the end of the day, or, you know, preparing for oral argument is another thing students use PowerNotes for. Get ready as far as you can before you go into that Word document where things become a lot harder to reorganize. So here in the split screen view, we're going to show you how to share projects in PowerNotes. You can share it by accessing the share icon in your project outline. And so for this particular example, on the left side here, I have the original researcher, so the person that created the project. And on the right side here is the person that they share it with. So I'm going to initiate a share by clicking on the sharing icon. Here you'll see a dialog where you can enter an email address for anyone that you want to share it with. And you can share it with multiple people. So it can be your librarian, it can be your TA, your professor, your MOOC court partner, a research assistant, whatever it is. You can make them a commenter or an editor. So a commenter can only provide feedback on the research that you've already done, can view all of the research, but can't edit it. Whereas an editor is like a full collaborator. They'll be able to do additional research. This project will show up in their extension. They can add additional research to the project outline. They can edit the project outline just like you can. And so that's great for like your MOOC court partner, your professor, if you're a research assistant, and those types of relationships. Once you do add them to your project as a share, you'll see their name here on the right side. And you can edit what permissions they have. So you can turn them from a commenter into an editor or remove them entirely. So once I've added someone as a share partner, they'll get an email notification and an in-app notification that a project has been shared with them, and they'll have to accept it. Once they accept it, they'll see this view here on the right side. And by the way, the notifications are here in the little bell icon. When you click on it, it will show you all of the things that have happened for shared projects. So the project that they see is pretty much the same as the one that you see, except for this purple banner at the top, letting them know it's a shared project by this person on this date. They can view, comment on, and download. So this person's a commenter. They can't edit the project. They can't edit their notes. They can't reorder things. That's all disabled. They can click on your links, so they can go back to the source to get additional information. But what we really want to do here is let them provide feedback. So if you hover over any card, if there's already comments there, you can see those comments, what they are. You can add additional comments. And it pushes in real time. So this can be used for like live conversations as well as, you know, something you're doing overnight. So it'll push here immediately and you can say something right back. And then again, it'll push here immediately. So you can have a real-time conversation with anyone about any piece of research, as well as the project as a whole. So you can just click on this project comments section to display all of your project level comments. And those push in real time as well. And then just one more little feature here is you can resort all this information. So the default sort is by topic, which is your organizational structure. You can sort by date, quickly see what days you worked on things, jump into a particular day, quickly see the sources that you use, jump into a particular source. And then also if it's a collaborative project, see who worked on what and how much they did and jump into their work. That's the way that commenting works. I'll just quickly show you how editing works. So collaboration. So I'm going to turn this person into an editor. So immediately this person gets edit capability. They can edit notes. They can reshuffle things around. Pretty much do whatever you want. They can also, in their extension, add research to this project. All right, that is it for the tutorial. All of our helpful information is also, again, a reminder that it's on the blog, and to make sure that you do use or go to the PowerNotes website to start